Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's Pick a Card, we are going to be seeing what is coming into your life in your near future that you do not see coming. I'm gonna leave this reading pretty open, so it could be any area of your life that we're looking at here. There could be one unexpected thing that comes through, there could be multiple things, whatever wants to come through. We're just gonna pull the cards and see what happens, see where the reading takes us. So, yeah, I feel like there's not much to explain for this reading. In addition to seeing what the unexpected things are, we will also take a look at how they're going to impact your life, and if there is any advice coming up, we will look at that as well. But yeah, I just feel called to leave it pretty open today. So let's just jump right into showing you guys your options. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and for each reading, we're going to be using a different oracle deck at the beginning of the reading. So as you can see, this is what they look like from the back, but in just a second I'm going to show you one card from each deck so that you can get a feel for what the front artwork looks like. As you guys might know, when I do this part with tarot decks, I would show you guys the same card from each deck, but because these are oracle decks, they're all like completely different. So I'm just going to show you a random card from each deck, whatever happens to be at the top of the deck. So you might want to pick your reading based on this back image, based on the front artwork, based on the actual meaning of the card that comes out. There's a lot of different factors that you could take into consideration. If you are drawn to more than one option, that is totally fine too, because there might be messages for you in more than one reading, and maybe there's just a lot of things that are going to be unexpectedly changing in your life in the next little while. So yeah, without further ado, let's give you guys a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1 is the Vivid Aura Birth card, and your card is Live Passionately. Option number 2, your deck is the Work Your Light Oracle, and your random card is Yes, Just Say Yes. Option number 3, your deck is the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and your random card is Miracles. And option number 4, your deck is the Soul Whispers Oracle deck, and your random card is Promise to Love Yourself Fully with the number 33. So just in case you guys need a little bit more time to pick, these are all your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Vivid Aura Birth card, I don't know why that name is so hard for me to remember. This is going to be a reading all about what you don't see coming in your near future. So we're going to start off the reading by pulling a few cards from this deck, and these cards are going to give us a sense of the main life area or areas that we're dealing with and sort of the gist of what these unexpected events might be. And then we're going to get into the tarot after that to go even more into detail. So this is just like the general overview of the energy that we're dealing with. Ooh, these shuffle very nicely. This is a deck that I just got kind of recently, but that is very nice cardstock, my goodness. Okay, group number 1. What does group number 1 not see coming right now? What unexpected changes or events await them in their near future? So one thing that I want to tell you guys is that I think that many things in your near future are actually not unexpected, but it's almost as if you have these goals in mind. You have these places that you want to reach, or you have these things that you want to manifest. And for whatever reason, you have it in your head that like the current actions you're taking right now or the path that you're currently on is like wrong. I feel like this is a group that maybe worries a lot about like, is this choice I'm taking right now bringing me closer to what I want or further away? And you tend to worry like, oh, if I do this, it's going to get in the way of what I want to come in my future. It's going to get in the way of what I want to manifest. And I think maybe what you guys don't expect, or what you don't really see, is that everything you're doing right now is like exactly what you're meant to be doing in order to bring about the outcomes that you want. But it's like you're overthinking, you're getting in your own way. I heard like you're getting yourself in a tizzy because you keep worrying about like, am I doing the right thing? But if you're, as a rule of thumb, if you're doing it, it's the right thing. If you're doing it, it's the right thing to bring you towards your manifestation, because I think you've already made it very, very clear to the universe what it is that you want. And it's like, it's all set for you guys. Like, keep living naturally, keep doing what comes naturally to you. And I promise it is the right thing to lead you to where you want to go. So I feel like that's the most unexpected thing for you guys. Like, oh, so I am supposed to be where I am now. I am supposed to be doing what I'm doing now. Yes, you are. Okay, let's try that again. Group number 1. There we go. So we have the unexpected. Thanks. That's giving me like the floor is made of floor vibes. Okay, what unexpected things are coming to group number 1? Maybe this is coming out because, you know, the first little message that I brought to you guys is that, oh, a lot of things coming in your near future aren't unexpected. It's like what you actually want to happen. And so maybe this is your spiritual team coming through to say, yeah, but there's surprises too. Don't you worry about that. There's surprises too. We also have attain success. And religious faith. Okay, so I want to start off by talking about this attain success. I feel like this one's really fun. This is really interesting. There is some victory coming to you guys that you are not expecting. Now, I do want to clarify, if there's a specific goal or a specific victory that you are working towards, I've already felt very clearly that those victories are coming to you. And I think that what your spiritual team is saying with this is that on top of that, there are other successes, other victories coming to you that you're not aware of at this time. So one thing that's coming to me right off the bat is like something that you guys worked on ages ago and you thought like it was over, you already forgot about it, or you already kind of like made peace with the idea that nothing was going to come of it, and then all of a sudden it starts achieving a lot of success. Like, think, for example, someone posts a video on YouTube like 2 years ago, and then they just leave it and they kind of forget about it. Maybe they gave up on their YouTube career and they're just going about their life. And then one day they decide to, you know, check on it just for giggles, and they see that it's gone viral. So like something you did a long time ago, almost to the point of like forgetting about it or giving up on it, I feel like it could be coming back around and bringing you a lot of success. It could also be something that you were just like purely doing for fun. You never thought like you were gonna reach any level of like success or making money from it or like getting recognition from it. You were just purely doing it for fun. And then all of a sudden it's like bringing some kind of buzz to you, bringing some kind of recognition to you, bringing some kind of monetary value to you. A really prime example of this, and some of you guys might know this, is that I started this channel completely for fun. I never thought it was going to become like a career or such a long-term thing or something that I pour so much energy into. I was doing it, you know, in a very light-hearted way. Very inconsistent in the beginning, like no expectations. So something that you guys are just kind of like dabbling in and you're not really thinking anything of it. It's like totally for fun, or you're not taking it seriously. You could really fall in love with it in the coming months, or you could start to become really, really successful with it. And like you're not, I feel like that's not on your radar at all, which is really cool. And there might even be something that you guys don't even know that you like yet that you're going to be discovering soon, and that's going to bring you a lot of success. Something that you never considered yourself doing, or it could even be something like, I feel like you're being proven wrong in some way. Like you decided, oh, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. I can't do that. Maybe, you know, you already decided like, I'm a terrible dancer. I can't dance for shit. I couldn't dance to save my life. You know, that Isn't there a song like that in High School Musical? It's like, I don't dance, and the whole thing is like asserting that I don't dance. So if like you're that guy, maybe what you don't see coming is that you're gonna fall in love with dance and you're gonna gain a lot of recognition for your dancing skills. It's something like that, which is very, very cool. And then with religious faith over here, I am interpreting this broadly to do with your spiritual path and your spiritual journey. So there's something coming up here that is unexpected and like in your spiritual path. So maybe there is like a belief system that you guys are really going to resonate with that you haven't been introduced to yet, or like a spiritual truth that you guys were really that you were really struggling with is suddenly going to click for you. And I feel like there's a lot of that in spirituality, because I think a lot of the teachings on surface level can seem like contradictory. And sometimes it's really hard to see how it's both this and that. It's both black and white. So if there's like a truth that you guys struggle with, even like you guys might like get the same advice over and over again when you watch readings, and you're like, okay, but like how do I actually do that? Or like, what does it mean when readers say that all the time? I don't get it. Like, it sounds nice, but I don't know how to apply that in my life, or I don't really get what they mean when they're saying that. And I feel like this is some spiritual truth just like clicking for you. Like it comes to you as an epiphany, or maybe you're going through some experience in your life where, oh my gosh, that's what they were talking about. That's what this spiritual teaching was talking about. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, for those of you, actually, it doesn't even need to be a personal reading, but I just got like a really clear message of somebody who got a personal reading maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. You know, like they got a personal tarot reading or a palm reading or a birth chart reading. It doesn't matter. It could be general as well, but the specific like image that I saw was like someone got a personal reading ages ago, and the reader was saying that this like amazing thing was gonna happen, and it hasn't happened yet, or some things happened in your life that kind of made it seem like the opposite thing was gonna happen, and you're like, oh, I guess that reading was wrong, and you just kind of brushed it off like, oh, that was a fluke reading, that reader didn't resonate, or like maybe I chose the wrong pile if it was a general reading, and you just kind of forgot about it. That blessing, that amazing thing that the reader said was gonna happen is coming back around, and it's like restoring your faith. So if you guys can think back to like readings that you've received in the past, that you got really excited about, but then you were like, oh, well, I guess it didn't happen. I guess that reading wasn't for me. Think again. That's what your spiritual team is saying, because something's going to come back and like pleasantly surprise you. Like, no, that prediction was accurate. That blessing was actually coming to you. So, okay, let's get into the tarot now to see a little bit more details about this. And we definitely have multiple things going on here. I'm going to drink some tea. I'm sure you guys can tell, but I have a frog in my throat. Okay. That's nice. It's lavender mint tea. And the tea bag little tag thing says, a garden is a delight to the eye and a solace for the soul. Food for thought. Okay, so let's get into your tarot now. This deck shuffles really, really nicely too. This is the Sasurai Bito Tarot. Okay. I like never know how to pronounce the name of this deck, because I'm like, do I say it like Englishly? Do I say it Japanesely? And then it just comes out as like an awkward in between. The Sasurai Bito. Okay. Group number 1, we have the King of Swords coming out. There's this message of like, I don't know, maybe this is just like an overall theme in your lives that you've like noticed up until now, or maybe this is something to just be cognizant of moving into the future. But I just had an image of someone like making a very detailed plan about like their year ahead, or like how their life is gonna go, or maybe like making a really detailed schedule of their week, or like a really detailed schedule of their month, and then things just go completely different from what they planned. This might be a recurring theme in your life. Like you might find anytime I make plans, life just throws me a million curveballs and it doesn't go the way I expected, or you're being encouraged right now maybe to not plan things so strictly, or to just be open to curveballs that life is going to throw your way. Be open to going with the flow, because like we saw previously, you guys just going with the flow and living naturally, it is going to bring you to what you want. And I feel like maybe the reason you guys have been planning so specifically is because you have it in your head, like this is the way to get to where I want, not some other way, this way, and I have to like strictly follow this. And I think it's great to be organized like that, and it's great to be disciplined like that. But at the same time, life is all about balance. And I feel like we need a little bit more like loosey-goosey energy in you guys, like a little bit more spontaneous energy, a little bit more open energy, so that a deviation from the plan doesn't mean that something has gone wrong. It's like a welcome suggestion from the universe. Like, oh, okay, maybe we'll try going over here. Because like, I know I'm still going to get to where I want to go, but it seems like the universe is wanting me to take this route. The universe is wanting me to try out this thing over here. So, you know, let's do that. But yeah, like the universe is going to be deviating from your personal plans quite a bit. And I feel like taking a lot of creative liberties in your life in the next while. Or this is like an assurance for you guys. If you've kind of found this is the theme of your life, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you, or there's nothing wrong with the way that you've been living. I feel like that's just something that your soul chose to experience during this lifetime. Another thing that might be unexpected for you guys is that suddenly you're becoming like very, very interested in learning about a certain religion, or learning about a certain spiritual discipline. And it could be even like a religion or a belief system that is like a bit less known. Obviously there's the cross here, which is like giving Christianity vibes, but it could be like, what would you say, like maybe a more minor religion, or a more like minor spiritual discipline, or something like very, very specific, like a certain vein of astrology, a certain vein of numerology. I feel like with this, oh, well, this is probably a Bible, but I'm just looking at like the open book and the King of Swords. Like you guys are becoming intellectually very hungry to learn about a certain vein of spirituality, and you might be purchasing a lot of books about it, or you might even be getting a spiritual mentor, because the King of Swords can also indicate someone who's giving you advice. If you guys have been thinking of getting any kind of psychic reading or any kind of spiritual reading, like a private one, this might be your sign that it's time to do that. And especially from somebody who is very like clear cut. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, you know, rather than someone who's very like flowery and abstract, I'm picturing someone who's like, yes, they're in a spiritual discipline, but they're very like opposite of the stereotypical, and I'm using these very strongly, like the stereotypical spiritual person who's like, listen to your heart and speaks in like metaphors. They're like, you know, very straightforward, very practical. They don't sugarcoat anything. So they'll be like, yeah, this looks bad. Like there's bad luck in this area. This is going to work out. This is not going to work out. I feel like this is your sign, if you've been considering getting a personal reading, that now might be the time. But look for someone who's like really just like, honestly, just blunt and will just tell you like it is. You even might get a little bit of, it sounds weird to say, but like a little bit of an intimidating vibe from this reader. Because they don't have that like love and light, hello beautiful soul kind of approach. They're just like, okay, let's get into your reading. So this is what I see here. It's like that kind of vibe. And obviously, this is no like judgment towards the other type of spiritual reader that I'm describing. It's just to like indicate to you who it is. I'm definitely not saying that one is better than the other. I just wanted to make that clear. Okay. We also have the 10 of Cups, which is like your ultimate happiness, your ultimate emotional fulfillment. I'm getting like strong family vibes, strong reunion vibes from this card as well. There could be an unexpected family reunion coming up soon, or an unexpected reunion with friends coming up soon, especially friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Friends or loved ones that are at a distance from you and that you're missing very much. I feel like you'll get to reunite with them when you're not expecting it. Someone who has told you they couldn't get a certain day off work, or like a certain special occasion off work, may actually get it off. And I hope, I might have spoiled a surprise there, so my bad, but it's like someone that you thought, oh, it sucks that they're not going to be able to make it, they're actually going to be able to make it to like the holiday, to the function, to the special day. So yeah, like surprise, unexpected family or friend reunions or loved one reunions is coming through really strongly with this one. There could also be unexpected additions to the family coming soon, whether that is like a new spouse entering your family, like entering your extended family, or a baby entering your family, whether that's you or somebody else. It could also be a non-human animal, an animal companion entering your family. But there's this overarching vibe in this reading. It's like things that you had already given up on, you know? Things that you had already given up on. Like, maybe like if you guys were trying to adopt an animal and it wasn't working out, and you're like, okay, maybe it's like not in the universe's plan for me right now, and you kind of like let it go, and then you hear back from the adoption agency that they have like a furry friend who's a perfect match for you. Or like maybe you were trying to conceive, you were trying to have a baby and it wasn't working out, and you were like, okay, maybe it's not time, or you know, maybe that's not going to happen for me, and then like unexpectedly you or your partner gets pregnant. It's like something that you gave up on is the kind of vibe. And okay, this is really sad, and I feel like you probably can't tell because I have a frog in my throat anyway, but it's making me feel choked up, because it's like I feel like this thing that you tried to forget about, or you tried to give up on, it was your 10 of Cups. Like it was your ultimate happiness. And so, you know, when it seemed like you weren't going to get it, you kind of had to convince yourself that like, oh, it's okay. I didn't really want it that much anyway. But then it's like once this blessing comes to you, all of that desire and all of that strong emotion that you were suppressing is gonna come back up again, you know? Like in the example of adopting a pet, when it seemed like it wasn't gonna work out, you might have started to tell yourself things like, oh yeah, it's probably for the best, because, you know, I would have cat hair all over the house, and, you know, I wouldn't be able to go on trips as frequently, and, you know, changing the litter box is such a hassle, and blah, blah, blah. Like you're trying to convince yourself like, oh yeah, it's good that it happened this way actually. But deep down, you really did want a cat, you know? And so when you get the news that you can get one, all of that emotion that you ignored or that you were suppressing, it comes like overflowing out of you, and you may like shed tears, you may become very, very emotional. Like I really, really did want this all along. Like this was my true happiness all along, and now it's like, it's safe for me to express that, you know? I don't have to ignore this emotion to like protect myself. And it's so interesting too how the King of Swords can tie into that as well, because the King of Swords does tend to be quite stoic, and you know, he can detach from his emotions very well when he has to. And I feel like there was a period where you guys had to, like and I feel like this has to do with not being able to unite or reunite with a loved one, whether it was a family member, a love interest, a friend, an animal, a baby, even like a baby who hasn't been born yet, that's still your loved one, that's still your family. And you had to act like you didn't miss them that much. It's like that kind of vibe. And this union or reunion has been decided, and now you can be honest with yourself, because it's like it's a certain that you're gonna get it, and you're safe to like show that vulnerability. Ooh, okay, so we have the Hierophant coming out, and we have the Magician. So some of you guys, honestly, marriage came to my mind when I saw the Hierophant, especially when it's coming out next to the Ten of Cups. So maybe some of you guys are currently manifesting like a marriage or meeting the person that you're going to marry. The first thing that came to my mind when the Hierophant came out was commitment. And by the way, I just looked up at the camera and I saw 2255. So those might be numbers that are significant for you guys. Like if you see repeating 2s or repeating 5s, which is interesting because repeating 2s can talk about partnerships and relationships, and 5 talks about change. So there could be a significant change in a relationship of yours that leads to a long-term commitment, or you could be meeting the person that you will have a long-term commitment with. But the Magician is saying like you're ready. And maybe this is one of those things that like it's not an unexpected one, but the unexpected thing is that you're ready, or the unexpected thing is that you're doing everything right. Because when the Magician comes out, it's like, okay, you're ready to manifest this. The Magician is number 1. It's the new start. And the Magician is capable, and the Magician is prepared, has everything under his belt that he needs. So it's almost like your spiritual team is saying, you're ready to welcome this love into your life. You're ready to welcome this union, and ready to welcome this this commitment into your life. And not only that, but you're doing everything right to bring it into your life. So this is a confirmation to you guys that commitment is coming for you. And then I also want to look at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Ten of Swords coming out at the bottom, which is so cool. Like, I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much, but I personally tend to use the bottom of the deck energy as sort of like the overarching energy of everything we talked about. And it's funny because I was saying like there's this overarching energy of something that you gave up on, or something that you thought was over. And that's what the Ten of Swords is all about. It's about endings. And so whatever you thought was over, it's not over. Like a wish that you had given up on, or like we spoke about even at the very start of this reading, something that you put effort into, something that you put out into the world, and then it seemed like it didn't go anywhere and you just kind of forgot about it. Like, oh, I guess that's over. But like, it's not. The seeds that you planted all that time ago are finally coming out of the ground. They didn't forget about you. And I know that you didn't forget about them either. That's so cool that this is the overarching energy. So, okay, we have Taurus energy here with the Hierophant, and then the Magician is related to Mercury, so this could be Gemini or Virgo energy, and I associate the Magician with Aries, and I don't remember if that's the actual association or just something that I mistakenly did once and then it stuck with me, but I'm gonna add Aries too. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Virgo energy are present here if we go from the major arcana, just in case that's significant for you guys, like your placements or the placement of someone significant in your life. If not, that's totally fine, but those are there for extra confirmation if you may need it or want it. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had to take a second tea break. Okay, so now we have a couple more oracle cards to look at from various decks. This looks so cool under the light. Woo! Okay. We have protons. So if it's one thing I know about protons, and there is only one thing I know about protons, is that they have a positive charge. So this is letting you guys know that things are really moving in a positive direction for you. And I also want to say that any unexpected changes or shifts that are coming for you guys, in this next chapter of your life, it's like all good things. And this is actually something that I felt intuitively at the start of the reading, and I didn't say it for some reason, and you guys might know, whenever I feel something and don't say it, it just comes back again. Like the universe is like, hey, you were supposed to say that. So I think that's why this proton is coming out now. The unexpected changes are all positive. You guys may have, and maybe that's why you guys have that habit of planning so much. You guys might have sort of a bad relationship with the unexpected. It's like in the past, the unexpected things that come your way are negative things. They're like tower moments. And so this is here to confirm to you, like those unexpected negative changes, that's over for the foreseeable future. We're not dealing with that right now. And the unexpected changes coming to you in this next chapter of your life are all positive things. And if I'm not mistaken, I think protons are bigger than electrons. I might sound very ignorant, but I think that protons are bigger than electrons. And I think that this is also speaking to the positive outweighing the negative in your life. We have solar eclipse. I actually know when this is, I think. The solar eclipse, the next one, at the time that this is uploaded, is going to be in October. It's either October or November, but I'm like pretty sure it's in October. I will put a subtitle if I'm wrong. I will correct myself. But if there's nothing there, it means I was right. I believe the solar eclipse is coming up in October of 2022. So that could be a significant time frame for you guys when these changes are coming. If you happen to be watching this video after that, unfortunately, I don't know when the eclipses are happening in 2023 and beyond, but if you're interested in knowing when this is, a quick Google search will tell you, because I feel like, solar eclipses or eclipses in general could bring really big changes to your life. We also have childhood. So yeah, for many of you, this these unexpected reunions could have to do with like childhood friends or like family members that you were really, really close with during your childhood. There could also be an announcement of a child being born that is unexpected, whether it's you or in your family. Yeah. And for some of you as well, this thing that you had decided like, oh, I'm no good at that, I'm never going to be successful at that. That could be something that stems from your childhood. Like, maybe there's like a sport that you guys are really, really good at and that you could become quite successful in, but in your childhood, like you got really bad grades in gym class, or like maybe you felt uncomfortable with your body or something like that when you were younger, and so you didn't feel confident participating in gym class, and because of those memories, it's like a drill in your head, like I'm not athletic, I'm not good at sports, I'm not a physical person. It's like you've kind of slapped that label on yourself because of a childhood experience that was uncomfortable, or like in serious cases even traumatic. But I feel like we're flipping the script here. We're undoing that. And we're getting back to the purity of your inner child, which is that anything is possible. I truly believe that as children, we feel like anything is possible and we feel confident in ourselves, and then it's life that knocks us down. But we can always unlearn those things. And then we also have, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I feel like that's such a sweet message to come out after childhood, because it's like, I really think that children don't inherently put pressure on themselves. It's like, it's something that we learn from the adults in their life who learned it from their parents, and they learned it from their parents, and so on. So it could also be something that you enjoyed as a child, but there was too much pressure to do it perfectly, and so you stopped liking it. Like maybe you really, really like science as a kid. You really, really liked science, but then your parents were like so strict. I don't know why your parents would specifically care about science. Maybe like your parents wanted you to be a doctor or something. So they were like really, really strict about your science grades, and they made it not fun anymore, because like it wasn't about the joy of learning. It was just about performing. It was just about pleasing someone. It was, too high standards. And so I feel like maybe you're revisiting something as an adult without that pressure of having to do it perfectly. So like you're finding the joy again. And like we were talking about, you're coming back to that pure essence of a child who, children don't give a shit if things are perfect. Children are making messes all the time and coloring outside of the lines all the time because they have that innate wisdom in them that's how we learn. That's how we experience the universe. That's how we explore ourselves. So any type of, it's kind of coming together. I feel like you guys have some underlying like perfectionism, or I need to plan everything really disciplinedly and I need to always know what's going on. I feel like you're coming out of that. That was something that you maybe learned in childhood out of fear, but we're unlearning that now and we're saying it's safe to go outside of the lines. It's safe to go outside our plan. It's safe to skip things on our to-do list sometimes. We are allowed to do that. And it's safe to go with the flow. So this unexpected change, it could also be like a shift in your mindset that maybe you didn't really expect that you could attain. And I love that the magician has all of these arms, because like when I see someone with a lot of arms, or maybe that his arms are just moving really fast and it looks like he has a lot, but that's pretty skilled too. But when I see a lot of arms in a card, it makes me think of someone who's like has multiple talents, like who's good at many, many different things. And oh my gosh, I totally forget where I was going with that thought, but just there's a lot of things that you guys are good at. And I think we're gonna stop like slapping labels of like, oh, that's not my thing, that's not my forte, that's not gonna work out for me. And we're gonna become more open with just like, let's try it and see what happens. Let's do it just for fun. There was that energy at the beginning too, like something that you were doing with such a light heart and that you were just doing for fun is gonna bring you a lot of success. And that kind of goes against everything your limiting beliefs taught you. It's like, if we want success, we have to have a really, really clear plan and we have to stick to it religiously and we have to discipline ourselves like crazy and know every next step we're gonna take and work really, really hard. And it's unexpected for you guys that you can go into something with like a curious mind and just the desire to have fun and find really great success and find really great results. I love that. Okay, yes, I do want to use the tea leaf cards just to close off this reading. What does group number one need to know before closing off this reading? We have the 4-leaf clover with great good fortune. The tulip with great passion. Oh, that's so sweet. And lobster with financial pinch. Great good fortune, great passion, financial pinch. It's funny, the way they come out, it looks like the lobster is like, boop, like reaching out to pinch the clover and reaching out to pinch the tulip. Maybe some of you guys have been struggling with your finances and there's gonna be an unexpected twist in fate. Obviously the 4-leaf clover talks about good luck. So I feel like, oh, interesting. So some of you guys who have been struggling with your finances or who have a specific financial goal in mind, there's like an unexpected like lump sum of money coming your way or an unexpected source of income coming your way. And you had this plan of like, it's gonna take me X amount of years to get out of this hole or to pay off this debt, or maybe you're even thinking like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this situation. But some good luck is coming to you with regards to your finances that is going to like completely turn the situation around. And I feel like that's going to allow you to focus on your passions. And yeah, like this is probably something I should have considered before, because, you know, it's easy for me to sit here and say like, oh, you can just go with the flow and try out different things and do what you like to do. And it's like, yeah, like, but it's a privilege to be able to do that. And when we're struggling to survive or get our basic needs met, or we have bills to pay, we can't just be like, let me try out watercolor painting for a month and see how I feel, or like, let me take up this lesson, because that costs money. Things cost money. So I feel like this is indicating, if you guys are worried about not having the resources to try new things or to do what you want to do, good luck is coming in your finances, and you don't have to know how it's coming. You don't have to plan. Like, some surprise money is coming your way, and then it's going to allow you to get out of that survival mode, to get out of that pinch, that penny pinching mode, and be able to focus on things that truly bring you passion. Oh, that's a really nice message to finish off the reading. So group number 1, these are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 1, I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to your spiritual team as well. Thank you very, very much for being here, and I am wishing you guys all the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Work Your Light Oracle, this is going to be a reading all about what you don't see coming. So we're going to start off the reading by pulling a few cards from this deck that you guys chose, and this is going to give us like our general vibe, so roughly what areas of your life we're looking at and sort of the gist of what these unexpected things might be, and then we're going to get into the specifics later on with the tarot. So let's get right into it with your oracle deck and get our first general energies regarding these unexpected changes, unexpected events, unexpected blessings coming to group number 2. This is one of my first oracle decks. This is definitely one of the earlier ones that I added to my collection. It's just so beautiful. Ooh, okay, we have the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. This is so cool, and I'm gonna be honest, like before I started filming this group, I was a little bit nervous because I did feel really, really called to use this deck in the reading today, but some of the cards I feel are kind of like abstract, and vague is not the right word, abstract. They're more like abstract interpretation. So I was like, I wonder how this is going to fit into a reading where we want to see like very concretely what's happening. But this is one of those cards that is like very straightforward. This is talking about a soul family union or a soul family reunion. So that is something that you guys don't see coming. We also have Get Grounded, Empaths, Highly Sensitives, Connect with Nature. And Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Okay, so I really, really like how these cards come together, because this is showing me that ever since you incarnated onto this earth, you've had your little antenna up looking for your tribe. I literally just saw 222. Like, I looked up at the camera and it said 222 on it, which is like unions, partnerships, soulmates. So yeah, this is totally about a soul family union that is coming your way. Yeah, I feel like you've had your soul tribe like energetically on your radar. Maybe that's a good way to put it, for a very, very long time. I feel like these are souls that you have felt around you energetically long before you meet them. I feel like that was a weird sentence grammatically, but it's like you have felt these energies long before they're gonna come into your life. And I think something that you guys maybe didn't expect is that there have been some energies around you that you felt were like a spirit guide, you felt was like a loving spirit watching over you, a guardian angel, something like that. And yes, that is true because they are guiding you, but they are also incarnated on this earth right now. They are also people walking this earth, and they are also people who are in alignment with a union with you. So some of you guys maybe didn't expect that like these spirits that you were communicating with are actually out there in the world, and they're looking for you too. But your tribe is out there, your family is out there. You guys might resonate with being empaths or with being highly sensitive people. And often, like I have some people like this in my life who are very close to me, and I've seen many of you guys like in the comments of my videos resonate with this energy as well. I think a lot of the time in a world like this, these types of people can be taught that like their empathic nature or their highly sensitive nature is undesirable. Like it's something that they need to fix. It's something that they need to be ashamed of. Like they're too emotional, they're too sensitive. Why do you care about that? That's not a big deal. Why are you still thinking about that? Why are you still feeling that way? And almost made to feel like there's no space for their emotions on this earth, or feel like they don't belong on this earth. And I feel like what I'm seeing here is you coming together with a group of souls who, just like you, are highly empathic, highly sensitive, and also highly psychic, just like you. I feel like these people coming into your life are like openly spiritual and on a spiritual path. These may be platonic soulmates, but it could be a romantic soulmate coming into your life as well. But there's definitely a soul union going on here. And with Akasha, I do believe that you've had many, many past life relationships with these souls. Those of you, and this may not even be unexpected, honestly, but those of you who like feel the energy of someone out there, but you can't really like put your finger on who it is or like how they're gonna come into your life, I just want you to know that you're not crazy, and you are picking up on your soulmate or picking up on your soul family who is out there looking for you. I really, really want to affirm that to you. I really, really want to confirm that to you when I look at these cards. So far it does look like we're, oh my gosh, I just looked up and I saw 555. And that's so interesting because when I was doing group number 1, there was a point where I looked up and I saw 2255 on the camera timer. So like group 1 had repeating 2s and repeating 5s, and now you guys have that as well. I don't know if you guys were drawn to group 1 as well, and or maybe you're coming from group 1, in which case, hello. But maybe you want to check out group 1 too. But I've also just found, and this is something that I've spoken about in previous readings recently, that like as a collective, we just kind of seem to be going through similar things right now. Or at least the people who are part of this community. I've noticed a lot more in recent readings that there's like a common thread going through them. And something that I've especially been seeing recently is like soulmate unions and soul family unions. I feel like a lot of the readings have been like really big on that recently. And I love that this card says it's all coming together, because it sounds like this like global master plan, like all of the soul families are going to come together and start kicking ass. But like I'm hearing like your moment is here, your time is here. It's time for you to come into this union. With this Get Grounded card, I do want to tell you guys that as your union or unions draw more near, you're probably going to start to feel very, very spacey and like forgetful, or just like overwhelmed. You know when you're like very flustered and very highly strung, and you're like, you know, misplacing things everywhere, or like someone's talking to you and what they're saying is just not registering because your consciousness is like all the way over there, and like you just feel kind of all over the place. You might be feeling very overwhelmed and all over the place as this union is drawing more near. And like as your psychic abilities are heightening more and more, you'll find that it's more difficult to stay grounded and to stay in your body. So you guys might already have practices in place that help you to get grounded, but I feel like you're gonna have to be a lot more deliberate with that for the next while. Like, I don't know, if you do like if you meditate once a day, or if you do a breathing exercise every day, you might have to do like 2 or 3, or you might have to really make the effort to check in with yourself several times a day. Like, I'm here, I'm in my body, I'm grounded, because I feel like your consciousness is just kind of going to be going all over the place, almost as if you're like, I guess I would liken it to a computer that's overheating because it has so many things running. I feel like you're going to be in telepathic communication with your soulmate or soul family. You're going to be receiving downloads. You're going to be having crazy dreams, so you might not be sleeping very well. And it's like your computer that is your brain and body is like overheating or overloading or something like that. So you just need to put a little bit of extra effort into your grounding routine and your relaxation routine and getting back into your body. You guys might be having dreams that make you feel very, very emotional, even though what you're seeing is unfamiliar to you. Like, maybe you have a dream of like a mother and child who are getting separated, like your baby was taken away from you, and you wake up like sobbing, even though you didn't recognize the people in the dream, and like it's not an experience that you've had in this lifetime, but you wake up with that fresh wound as if it's really happened to you. And this is because your higher self is showing you something from a past life, something that you've lived with this soulmate or with this soul family, or like you dream that you're like on a wooden ship and like the sea is really rough and your Viking friend like fell into the water or something like that. I feel like, and I'm sorry that it's all like negative examples that are coming up, but I just have this image of somebody who's like having a very, very vivid dream, and they don't recognize anybody there, and they don't recognize like the era or the setting, but it's like they're feeling it as if it happened to them, because it did happen to them, but just in another life. So any dreams that make you very, very emotional, or like you could even be watching a movie and, you know, a scene happens that, yes, it is emotional, but it's like, why am I so shaken up by this? Why am I like crying so much at this? Or like, why is this scene bothering me so much? And it's like, you're remembering about your past lives with this person or with this people. So if maybe that's been happening to you guys already, and we're kind of seeing why that might be, or this is something to just keep in mind as that might start to happen moving forward. But yeah, I could definitely see you guys getting energetically overwhelmed as these unions draw more near, and as the telepathic connection grows stronger and more frequent and more vivid. So yeah, we're gonna need to just be more intentional about grounding and put a little bit more time into that. So let me drink my tea. I apologize, as you can probably tell, I have, I don't know, something's going on with my throat. I have a frog in my throat. So I will be sipping hot tea throughout this reading. Okay. Ooh, I love this deck so much. She shuffles like a dream. Ooh, it's so fun. Okay. Group number 2. Can we get some more specific details about this event or anything else that they should know? We have the Ace of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Five of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. Wow. Okay, so the very first one that I want to address is the High Priestess. And, you know, sometimes I feel like this just happens in readings like this, even though the topic of the reading is what you don't see coming and like unexpected things coming in. Sometimes that's not really what comes out. And I feel like for you guys with the High Priestess here, you've probably already, you know, felt that this was coming. Maybe the unexpected things that it's in your near future, or maybe the unexpected things like how it's gonna happen. But with the High Priestess here, like you can't surprise the high priestess because she knows everything. You can't catch the high priestess off guard because she had a premonition that you were going to do this before you even had the idea that you were going to do this. She just knows. She just knows. So probably you guys have felt that this union is coming. You've already been picking up on the energy from your soulmate or soulmates. And maybe this reading is more of a confirmation for you guys. And that's okay. You know, like we, as the reader, we might pick the topic of the reading. We might have our own idea of like what we want to cover in the reading. But if spirit has other plans, or if your higher self wants to relay a different message to you, then that's what they're going to do. So I feel like, yeah, this is more something that you guys already knew was going to happen. But, oh, and also I want to talk about, I'm kind of skipping around here, but I want to talk about the Nine of Wands too, because personally, when I use a bottom of the deck energy, I think of it as like the overarching vibe of the whole reading, or like the main thing for you to take away. And when it comes to the Nine of Wands, this is like you're almost there. You're almost there. And I really feel like this union or these unions are coming in sooner than you think. You're like in the final stages and you're ready for this new beginning. And the Nine of Wands sort of comes through to say like, we know that it's been a long journey. And we know that it's been difficult, like staircases too. This reminds me of, it's in the Secret Language of Light Oracle, which is funny because I mix up the names sometimes. This is the Work Your Light Oracle, but there's also the Secret Language of Light Oracle. And it has a card called Soul Journey, I believe, on it. And it has like a really long staircase, and it's actually the card number 9. And so these two cards together are kind of reminding me of that. Like, it's been a long journey. It's been a tough journey for you guys, but you're almost there. Like, you've almost reached your gathering. You've almost reached your family and your tribe. And I think it's so cool that there's like the bone tied to the wand, and there's these red threads. Like the red threads are making me think of fate, you know, like the red string of fate. And I'm thinking of a stick as like outward efforts, and the bone as like something that is innate within you. And I feel like you guys have just been so beautifully listening to your inner guidance. And that's something that I think you need to give yourselves a lot of credit for. Like, it's like, this journey is like programmed in your bones. It's like in the fiber of your being. You are programmed to find each other. You might share a really, really important mission with these souls. And so as long as you want this union, it's coming. Because it's like, oh, and I sound so dramatic, and I'm aware of that, but it's like, it's in your bones. It's in the fiber of your being. It's in your DNA. It's like, and this is so weird, but I have a visual of like, you know how you have like wind up toys? You like on their back, and then you put them down and they just like do, and they just like go wherever. It's like your higher self took you and like, apparently that's the sound that a wind up toy makes, and like put you down on the earth, and you're just going like, automatically you're just going. And all of like the fights that you have fought and all of the actions that you have took have been aligned by destiny. And look, we literally have the 4 Pentacles underneath. Like, this was meant to happen. This was destined to happen. And all the actions that you've taken and all of the turns that you've taken, it's in alignment with that navigation, with that program that's like in your bones, is the way that it's coming through. So like, it's like, hang in there a little bit more. This is coming sooner than you think. And like, you could not mess this up. As long as you want it, you could not mess it up because it's in your bones. And I've definitely used this quote before, but you know when Harry Potter is like, I think he's afraid to play Quidditch, and he's like, what if I make a fool of myself? And Hermione's like, you won't make a fool of yourself. It's in your blood. That's like you guys on this journey. This, whatever it is, like a twin flame journey, a soul family journey, a soulmate journey, your soul's mission, you know, finding the people that you'll carry out your calling with and make the world a better place with. You guys might be in this energy of like, what if I mess it up? And your higher self is saying you won't. It's in your blood, or in this case, it's in your bones. You're like wound up to go this way. And your free will is matching so well with your destiny, with the plan that your soul made. They're literally tied together by fate. And we're in the final stages of it, like right according to plan. We're in the final stages, and like we're ready to initiate the new stage. We're ready to initiate the great gathering. It's happening. It's coming together. So this Nine of Wands being the overarching energy, it's definitely speaking to like the imminentness of this union and how you've just been right on schedule and right on the plan. And this new beginning is coming soon. You guys might meet this person or meet these people through your career, especially through a new opportunity that is coming to you or a new beginning in your career. And maybe this new beginning is actually, or this offer is unexpected to you guys. Like even though you know this union is happening, you may not quite know how. It's just something that you feel. It's something that you know without knowing why you know. And with this Ace of Pentacles, this could be indicating that some new beginning in your career, some career transition, or some offer that is coming to you in the near future is going to be like the step that brings you together, whether that's starting a new job, you like starting a project from your own initiative. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's offered to you from the outside, but like you starting a new project, you taking a new job, you being invited on board for a project, you moving for a job, like going somewhere else in the world for a job, or being like transferred departments or something like that. And I think it's so interesting that the pentacle is over the person's third eye, because we've been talking so much about your psychic abilities heightening and, you know, everything being part of a bigger plan, and just something about that pentacle being over the person's third eye. It's like, I feel like when the moment comes, you'll have this innate knowing, like, yes, this is where I'm meant to go. This is what I'm meant to do. And I actually had a moment like this recently where like, I had an opportunity offered to me. And even though there were a few things logically, like a few cons to accepting the offer that I could point out logically, and it didn't make a lot of sense in some ways, my soul was just like, no, we got to go for it. My intuition was like, nope, we're meant to do this. This is what we're supposed to do. So you might have a similar experience where, you know, suddenly you just get a really, really strong urge, like, I need to start this project, or I need to change jobs. I need to move to XYZ place and work there. Or I need to say yes to this offer. Even if it doesn't logically make sense, you'll see beyond that. You'll see beyond that and you'll accept the offer, or you'll start the project that needs to be started. And, you know, with the Five of Swords here, it's really interesting. I knew there was going to be some kind of like conflicting energy. The Five of Swords does talk about conflicting energy, like opposition, contradiction, and swords has to do with our mind. So I feel like the logical part of your mind might have a few things to say about this, decision. Maybe you are embarking on a new career journey that has less security than your current position, or is less money than your current position. Things that if you're thinking from like a logical and practical place, you would be like, it doesn't really make sense for me to take this. Or it could be that other people are opposing your choice. For example, if you suddenly get the urge to move far away, there might be like family or friends in your life, or like your current boss or something like that, who are literally like opposing you with their words and saying like, are you sure about that? So, you know, it's like a decision that's controversial, or like the logical part of your brain could find flaws in the plan. You know, you're gonna move there, you don't know the first thing about that country, you don't speak the language, you don't know anybody there, the job is less secure, or like my friends are saying that I shouldn't go, or my family is saying this and that. Like there would be some opposition, or there would be some contradiction, but your third eye, your intuition is saying like, no, we have to go. And with these bees, you know, bees make me think of like hard work and determination. And the bees, you can see they found the flower, so their work paid off. Oh my gosh, and I just saw 2255 again. So repeating 2s and repeating 5s are really, really big. And you have 2 and a 5 here as well. you're just, something in you is just going to feel so determined. And you're like, yes, I know that there's all of these things that logically make this a weird choice. I know that one could say that there are like, you know, holes in this plan, or that there's some cons to my decision. But you know what? I'm going to work my ass off and make it work. Like a busy bee, like a hardworking bee. I'm just going to be really determined as heck, and I'm going to make it work. And you're going to go for it. Ooh, that's so cool. Okay, so tea. It's time for tea. Okay, so now let's look at some more oracle cards. We have various oracle cards from different decks, and I absolutely love the way that this one reflects the light, all rainbow. I think this is called iridescent, if I'm not mistaken, or holographic, or both. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You can see like the ring of the ring light, but it's, whoa, but it looks rainbow. I wish I actually had a ring light like this. Oh my gosh. So we have ultraviolet. You know, this deck makes me feel kind of ignorant because like, I don't know much about the words on the cards, but no, it makes me feel intellectual. But I do know about ultraviolet light, that it is not visible to the human eye. And I think it's very cool that this is coming out, because we've had so many messages about your third eye, about your deep knowing, about your psychic abilities heightening, that you're seeing beyond the physical world. You're seeing beyond the illusion of this physical world. And it's like you're transcending, you're graduating from that frame of mind where things need to make 3D sense in order to be valid, or things need to be quantifiable or visible or tangible in the 3D to be valuable or to guide you. And I think this is a chapter where your inner guidance and like your calling is really coming from somewhere that cannot be seen, that cannot be touched, that cannot be easily explained to other people, but that can be felt very deeply and very intensely by you. Wow. We also have Chiron. So yeah, you guys are healers. You guys are highly sensitive, and this might be something that has brought great pain in your life in the past, if I'm being honest, great wounds that has caused you to kind of hide away, because maybe you haven't found an environment on this earth yet where it's safe to be your highly sensitive and empathic and psychic self. It can be exhausting to feel things so strongly and to pick up on so many energies and to be such a delicate instrument, which I think you guys are, a delicate instrument. And I think you guys might carry a lot of wounds from not having these aspects of you be nurtured in the right way. But I believe that a part of your future, or a part of your mission, if you feel called to it, if you choose to accept it, is helping to heal others and create a world that is more safe for highly sensitive people, and that is more safe for that which is not quantifiable in 3D terms. Like there's room for that stuff to exist here. You guys might be a figure that inspires, and I'm not super familiar with these terms, but I'm seeing like a wave of indigo children, or a wave of rainbow children, or a wave of new light workers coming to the earth. And you guys might be like an inspiration for these new souls. But you're absolutely a healer with this Chiron card here. This might also be indicative of a time frame that's going to be important for you guys. So if you know where your Chiron is, or if you feel like looking it up, if you know your birth time, or maybe, I don't think you need to know your birth time to know where Chiron is, because it doesn't change that quickly. But anyway, if you know where your Chiron is located in your birth chart, or if you feel called to look it up, that zodiac sign might be significant. So for example, I have Chiron in the sign of Virgo. So if this was a reading for me, then Virgo season might be significant for me. If you have Chiron in Pisces, then Pisces season, aka late February to late March might be significant for you. If you guys know and if you feel called to, you know, see into that time frame, I just wanted to mention that. Ooh, we also have freedom, and I love that we have, like, this is so weird, but I'm thinking of this as you and a counterpart. I know that it's trees, but I feel like this is you guys, the trees coming together and creating love together. And you even have this eye, which is like a higher being, a spirit guide that is looking down on you. And I feel like this represents, this like cloud above your head represents like your psychic abilities or your higher selves who are always connected. It's like the trees represent you being incarnated because you have roots in the ground, but the clouds being connected by the rainbow means that you're always connected from a soul perspective. And actually, you're probably connected from your roots too, because don't trees have that, like, they have that root network where they stay connected? So basically you're connected in every way from your head to your toe. And you also have loving beings that are watching over you. You definitely have angels watching over you. And I love this. I definitely feel that freedom is talking about like an emotional freedom, liberating yourself, feeling free to be who you truly are and not having to like tone yourself down or dim yourself to belong in this world. You know, there's that quote, like, if you feel like you don't belong in this world, it's because you're here to create a new one. I feel like that might be a quote that really resonates for you guys. And not only are you freeing yourself, but it's like you're leaving behind a world that is more safe, that is more friendly, that is more welcoming for people to be free to be themselves. I feel like that's a message that you're going to transmit through whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your mission is with this soulmate or this soul family. It's like you are spiritually liberating people and you're helping people to realize that they're free to be who they truly are and there was never anything wrong with them. And it was this, you know, this cold world. And I'm not saying that Mother Gaia is cold at all, but like humans, honestly, the cold side of humans has really created an unwelcoming place for many people. And I think that you're helping to heal that. And then, that's like so perfect. And look, it's DNA. Being yourself is sacred. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I was talking so much about like your destiny, your union is programmed in your DNA. We were just talking about you guys like being free to be yourself. Oh my gosh, that's such a perfect card to like close this off. So actually, we're not closing it off yet because I'm gonna take a few tea leaf cards. I think I took 3 for group 1. We'll take at least 3, but just any last messages, anything else that you guys need to know. Yeah, but I feel like another overarching theme for you guys is that something that maybe you once thought was like your biggest weakness, or something that you once thought was your weakness, is actually going to end up being like a really, really big strength of yours. And I wish that I could think of an example. Okay, one that's like easy for me to think of is like music or musicians. Maybe somebody like wasn't classically trained in music, like they don't have that academic knowledge of music and like music theory and stuff like that. And so they might think that that's going to hinder them as a musician, but because they don't have that previous programming, maybe they're actually going to come up with sounds and chord progressions and melodies that wouldn't come so naturally to somebody who has that like training and has that formal education. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it's just about acknowledging that one is not necessarily a weakness. They both have unique benefits in their own way. And it's not like this one is good and this one is bad. They can both create beautiful things. Very different, but both very beautiful. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Grimes was like that. I don't think that Grimes had like formal music training and just kind of, you know, started making songs with a computer, and look how that turned out. I freaking love Grimes. So I mean, obviously this can apply to so many different things, but when you envision yourself on your journey to success, maybe you can think of a couple things that, you know, you kind of hold yourself back with, like, you know, I really want to do this career, but I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. Maybe it's like your age, maybe it's your experience, your knowledge, like something that you think is wrong or that is going to hinder you or that's going to be a weakness. It's actually that very thing that's going to make you excel in your own way. That's what I think this is about. Okay, group number 2. What else do they need to know? We have Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Some of you guys are worried that you're behind schedule, or worried that you're late bloomers, or worried that you missed your blessings, and that could not be farther from the truth. You are not late. You are right on time. We also have strong emotion, passionate love or hate. I definitely think this is passionate love. You know, we've spoken about you guys feeling things very, very intensely. And maybe this is indicating, you know, you feel positive emotions very intensely, you feel negative emotions very intensely. But this is definitely speaking to a lot. I want to move this because it looks like the tortoise is getting roasted by the fire. Let's put them like this. This is definitely speaking to a new chapter of a lot of passion coming into your life. Fire signs could be significant, because we literally have fire here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, as well as water signs with the High Priestess, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. People of those signs could be significant, whether that's you or someone else. And then we have mice, discord among friends or family. Interesting. So that message we were picking up on with the Five of Swords, maybe this is confirming that a little bit of this Five of Swords energy is going to be like friends or family not really understanding why you're going for this Ace of Pentacles. It could be something as mild as not really understanding and being kind of confused, you know? Like, why do you want to start that project? Why do you want to pursue that career? Why do you want to go there? Or in some cases, it could be as strong as like flat out opposing it. Like saying, I don't think you should do that. I think that's a bad idea. But that's interesting. I feel like that provided a little bit more insight. And I just need to show you guys because this says discord among friends or family, and then the bottom of the deck said protection from a powerful friend. So I do want you guys to know that at the very least, there is going to be one really, really loyal friend that supports you and stands up for you. So maybe it's like, I don't know, like a couple of your family members are giving you a hard time, but like your best friend really, really believes in you. Or maybe your friend group is giving you a hard time, but like your mom really believes in you or something like that. And I also think you're going to have the protection of your soulmate or your soul family as well. Oh, and look what was under that. Love, deep affection, and caring. Yeah, you guys are so loved. You guys are so, so loved. On earth, you guys are so, so loved in the higher realms. Oh, I'm so happy for you guys. I really, really like the energy of this reading. So, group number 2. For those of you who do have a dog, I feel like they're your spirit guide. I want to mention that as well. But yes, group number 2, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2, I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to your soul family and to your spiritual team as well. And I'm really, really grateful for you guys for being here, and I'm very excited for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Sacred Destiny Oracle, this is going to be a reading all about what you don't see coming. So we're going to start off the reading by pulling a few cards from this deck, and we're going to be seeing what area or areas of your life will be going through unexpected changes, or maybe get our first bits of information about what might be coming your way. But then after this, we are going to get into the tarot, and that's where we'll really go more into detail. So let's get right into it. For group number 3, what unexpected changes, unexpected events, or unexpected blessings are coming to group number 3? Okay, so to start off, we have taking risks, flexibility, and stillness. Okay, so first of all, I think it's really interesting how all of these cards came out really quickly and like really close together. Usually when cards come out quickly, actually not usually, pretty much all the time when cards come out quickly, I know that it's going to be a very positive message. And this also lets me know that your spirit guides are very excited for you, and that in general, you're entering into a very exciting time of your life. There are various different animals on these cards. I think that this is a hawk, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course here we have a tiger, and we also have a swan. These could be significant spirit animals for you guys, but the feeling that they're giving me, this is you guys soaring, this is you reaching great heights, this is you achieving a lot of things. Tigers make me think, or actually just wildcats in general, make me think of like personal power and really like, you know, stepping into your power. And then swans make me think of reflection. And I think it's because in many decks that I have, the swan would be like swimming on the water and there's a reflection of the swan on the other side. So I feel like you guys, first of all, you're soaring, you're reaching really great heights, you're claiming your power. And I think you're moving into a phase of your life where you really feel like your outer world is a reflection of your innermost desires and also of your potential. It's like you can look at your life and the world around you and really see yourself in it and be like, this is a life that I actively chose. This is a life that I actively created. And this life is very me. It's very much me, and it's very much mine. And I think you're entering into a phase of your life where you really feel proud of the life that you've created for yourself. And I think that what we're going to see in this reading, it's not so much of like what you don't see coming, but it's like a decision that you've been faced with, or something that has been calling to you and you've been scared of taking that leap. And maybe what you don't expect is that if you take that chance and if you take that leap of faith, it's actually going to go very, very well. And I think this is what you don't expect. And so this reading kind of has a bit of a different vibe, because this is not something that is inevitably coming to you, but it's more like if you take that chance and go for it, the unexpected is that everything that could go right is gonna go right. Like you're gonna have a best case scenario if you take that offer, if you start that project, if you make that move, if you pursue your dream, if you just go for it, if you tell that person how you feel, do the thing, do the thing, take the chance, go for it, take the leap of faith. And this unexpected thing is that everything is going to go amazingly. I really, really love that we have flexibility here. There's a couple different interpretations that are coming to me. One of them is one that I think I talk about pretty often, and that is, in this life, it's less about like, if I make this choice, the universe is going to reward me, and if I make that choice, the universe is going to punish me. But it's the universe is waiting to see what we're going to do, and then based on the step that we take, the universe will respond to us and create the best possible scenario for us. It's more like a choose your own adventure rather than the universe already having decided everything and saying, oh, you better make the right choice, otherwise things are going to go badly in your life. The universe is working with you. The universe is co-creating with you. So every choice you make, it's like every time you make a choice, then the future is like rendering itself on the spot. You know, like when you're playing a game and you like move the screen and then the landscape starts rendering, if that's the right word. So whatever choice you make is the right choice. Whatever choice you make, the universe is going to bring you happiness. And so it's important to make our choices based on what we really want to do and not some arbitrary reason why we think this is the right one and this is the wrong one. So this is really encouraging you to follow your heart and follow what you really want to do, and trust that the universe has your back and that the universe is going to co-create the next chapter with you that is best tailored to your joy and to what you really want to happen. So that's definitely one way I'm seeing this flexibility, is that like it's not set in stone. It's not like this is the way you're meant to go and this is the way you're not, and there's this pressure on you to choose. It's like the universe is flexible. The universe wants to work with you. So you choose what you really, really want to do, and the universe is going to work with that and bring you the happiness that you're looking for. The other thing that came to my mind with this flexibility card is like, maybe some of you guys are afraid to go for something because you feel like it's going to take some kind of freedom out of your life or take some kind of flexibility out of your life. Oh, it's funny. I was giving an example of like getting a pet in a different group, and I feel like this actually lends itself quite well to this example. Let's say someone is thinking like they're considering getting a pet, but then they're worried about, oh, you know, if I get this pet, then I'm going to lose my freedom. I'm not going to be able to leave the house as much. I'm not going to be able to go out and travel, or it's going to bring financial constraints on me. Or maybe someone's making a decision to go for a full-time position at a certain company, and they're thinking that's going to take up so much of my time and I'm not going to have enough time to do this and this and this. Like, it's like they want to go for it, but they're worried about it taking flexibility out of their life or taking freedom out of their life, something about time constraints, something about like financial constraints. And the universe is saying that everything is going to be taken care of. And I think that's something that you guys are not expecting, even though like from where you're at, analyzing the situation looks like, oh, I'm going to lose time, I'm going to lose money, I'm going to lose freedom, whatever it might be. The universe is saying that is not the case, and the universe has some tricks up their sleeve to replace those resources that you might be losing, or to find a way that you don't have to lose those resources, or that maybe you end up with even more than what you had before. So these fears that your brain is creating when it comes to taking this risk, like, oh, I'm gonna have to sacrifice this, and I'm gonna have to give up that, and I'm gonna lose this along the way. The universe is like, no. So it's like, what you don't expect is that the things you're fearing are not going to happen. And if you take this risk, there will only be rewards. There will only be good things coming to you, which is, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. With this Swan card, like we talked about before, this is really you guys coming into a chapter, or the potential is there for you to enter this chapter where your outer life, the life that you're living in, the world that you're living in, is really, really a reflection of who you truly are on the inside. Meaning you really feel that you're living a life that is truly authentic to you. This stillness could also be about you guys taking a vacation or taking things more easy. This wintry vibe of the card too. Winter makes me think of like slowing down. Oh, and literally being still, like this card says. And having a period of like rest and rejuvenation and reflection. So there's something like you feel like taking this chance is gonna like make your life more hectic, or it's gonna bring stress to your life, and the universe is saying no, it's not gonna bring stress. It's gonna bring everything that you want, and everything that you're concerned about, we'll figure it out along the way. I will work with you. This is the universe. I will work with you to address all of your concerns. And a lot of the things that you're worried about in taking this path are just simply not going to happen. This could also be indicating that maybe the winter season is going to be significant, like the next winter season coming up, whenever it is that you're watching this, whenever winter happens where you are in the world, the winter season might be important. But let's get into the tarot now, because I feel like this is an interesting energy. It could be so many different things. So I'm definitely curious to get into the tarot and see more about like what the details are. But first I need to take a tea break, because as you can probably tell, My throat is very scratchy today and also yesterday. Okay, so with this tarot now, we want to get more details about what these unexpected changes entail, how they might be entering your life, how they're going to impact your life. But yeah, I think for this group, it's like the thing itself is not unexpected, but the outcome is. It's like a choice that's already in front of you. It's a certain action, a certain path that has been calling to you, that you've been considering. What's unexpected is like the way that it's going to play out if you go for it. And I'm hearing really strongly like, yes, go for it, do it. Woo, okay. Do those want to fall out? Ah! Okay, there's a lot of hesitation with this group for sure. As you guys know, I pay attention to how the deck behaves. Like, for example, when these cards flew out really, really quickly, I knew this was good news. I knew that your guides were excited for you, and there was like an imminent energy, like these changes could happen anytime, whenever you're ready, let's go. Like, this energy is hot and fresh and ready. But when I get into the tarot, this deck is shuffling pretty messily, which is quite distinct for this group. You know, there were some cards that were like trying to fall out in different directions, like, you know, getting all messy and like flipping over but not coming out. And that generally lets me know about an energy that is hesitant, that is conflicted. So I feel like this is a decision that you guys have really been debating on, or it's like deep down in your gut, you know you want to move in this direction, but your mind is really afraid. And like I feel like your mind likes to look for reasons not to do it for some reason, and is like over analyzing. I'm also thinking of like analysis paralysis, I think it is, when you overthink all the details of a decision, almost like to stall you actually needing to make a decision. It's like you keep analyzing, you keep playing out the different scenarios, or it's like you've just thought this thing over so many times that you've gotten confused. I don't know if you guys have experienced this before. It's definitely something I've experienced, but like when I'm really stressed about a decision, or just like really stressed about what the outcome of something is going to be, it's like the more I do readings for myself, or the more I watch other readings, it just makes me even more confused. I don't know what it is, but like when I go into readings with that kind of frame of mind, I just get like mixed answers and I get even more confused. And it's like, I feel like you could find a lot of pros to this decision if you wanted to analyze it that way, and you could find a lot of cons to this decision if you wanted to analyze it that way. And I just feel like you've analyzed this decision too much, to the point that it's just made you unnecessarily confused. Whereas if you were to just listen to your gut and go with what your gut says, you could have made the decision in like 2 seconds. Like, there's always going to be something to analyze. There's always going to be pros and cons to anything. But yeah, there's like a lot of overthinking and over-analysis energy. I just started shuffling again, and the cards are being tricky again, like trying to come out in different directions. Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands and we have the 3 of Pentacles, which came out together. And we have the Knight of Wands, which is like a go for it card. And we have the 8 of Cups. And then we have the 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So I'm gonna actually start with the bottom of the deck energy here. I've been sort of explaining throughout the groups that I tend to use the bottom of the deck energy as like the overarching energy of the whole reading. And The Six of Cups has to do with childhood. It has to do with familiarity. It also makes me think of like soul ties and soul connections. I feel like for many of you, this has to do with pursuing a dream that is very, very dear to you. It could be a path that you have dreamed about and fantasized about since you were a child, or it could be something that has to do with your past lives. Like this is a career path that you're very familiar with from past lives, or a country that is calling to you because you've lived many past lives there, or a person or a group of people that are calling to you because of many past life connections. So it's something that is very deeply ingrained in your soul. I feel like for many of you, you had it's like you have fond childhood memories of this path, or like you dreamed about it since you were a child, or it really helps you embody your inner child. It really lights you up. It really brings your childhood, or not childhood, childlike joy. And it's so interesting that we have this 5 and 3 coming out together in the Wands and Pentacles. When 3s and 5s come out together, it does make me think of the 3D and the 5D. And we also have the transition of fire to earth, or Wands to Pentacles. Fire talks about intuition, impulses, urges, ideas. It's not tangible, but it's very intense and it's very passionate. Whereas Pentacles talks about something that is physical, tangible, practical. And isn't it cool how we have like the 5 or 5D energy is that passion, is that intangible thing, is that intuitive thing. And then the 3D thing is physical and tangible. So I feel like what we're seeing here is, and it makes so much sense too, because we had the Swan, which is like your inner world reflecting your outer world. What you're so passionate about and what you feel so strongly in the 5D and what you have felt energetically for such a long time, that can be your 3D life. The things that you feel spiritually connected to, the things that your soul feels drawn to, you can experience and have and attain those things here in the 3D. And I feel like for some reason you guys like struggle to believe that, or that's the very thing that you don't see coming, almost as if you have resorted to the fact that my 5D life is always going to be a lot more vivid and a lot more passionate, and that's where my true happiness is going to lie. But when it comes to actually living that in my 3D physical life, that's not possible, or that's too good to be true. It's like I don't know if resorted to is the right way to say it, but you've resigned to that maybe. And what you guys don't see coming is everything that brings so much passion to your soul, everything that lights you up in the 5D, everything that you experience in the 5D and dream about in the 5D is coming to be your 3D reality. And maybe what you don't see coming is like the things that you feel called to, the things that you feel so familiar with, the things that you feel inexplicably connected to are going to materialize in this life. That's what I see really, really clearly here. But with the 5 of Wands, this is also about conflict. And I feel like this is definitely talking about an inner conflict that you guys have. I feel like you guys struggle to have faith in the spiritual insights that you receive. And when you feel really strongly about something, it's like you struggle to validate that. When you feel something really strongly, it's like you want to analyze it and you want to validate it or invalidate it, rather than seeing your strong emotions as a compass. It's like you immediately go into this mode of like, oh, well, is this realistic? Is this valid? Is this accurate? Almost trying to like discredit your spiritual insights or your spiritual longings. And I also think it's really telling that we have the 3 of Pentacles here, because this is about cooperation, working together. And I think that what you guys don't expect is that, first of all, you and the universe are co-creating. you're working hand in hand, but also your 5D experience and your 3D experience can work hand in hand. It's not a one or the other situation, or like the 3D and the 5D are not so far apart as you might think. It's so weird. It's like, I'm thinking of Hannah Montana right now because it's like, you know, she's Miley Stewart and then she's Hannah Montana. And I feel like you guys have this, it's like, you have this way of thinking where it's like, I have my spiritual world, I have my 5D experiences where like I'm feeling all this love and feeling all this passion and having all these amazing dreams. And then I have my 3D life, which is boring, or which is difficult, or which is unfulfilling, which doesn't bend to my will. It's like you've really placed this duality between those two worlds. And I think what you don't expect is like, you can live all of those amazing 5D experiences in the 3D. Basically, you can have heaven on earth, or you can have your heaven on earth. That's what you guys are not expecting. And if you would just take some leap of faith and take some risk, you would start to see your 5D reality trickling down onto this physical earth. And the Knight of Wands, like I said, the Knight of Wands is a go-getter. The Knight of Wands confidently goes after what they want. So this is quite literally saying to you, like, go for it, do it. Pursue the thing, say the things, tell the people what you need to tell them, like put yourself out there, go for it. With the Eight of Cups here, this is a card that talks about walking away. So there may be things that you need to walk away from in order to pursue this path. And you're afraid of doing so because of the security it brings you. I can definitely relate to this picture, the person cutting their hair, because this is like a really big fear of mine. I'm really scared of cutting my hair. I actually like cut a couple inches off recently and I still regret it, and I still think about the hair that I lost, and it's so silly because it's gonna grow back, but I just like, and there's something about having long hair that makes me feel secure, and there's something so scary about like once you cut it off you can't get it back. And oh my gosh, maybe those of you who have long hair will like understand that feeling, but I think this is a really good, you know, it's very different from the traditional image, but it's a very good way to describe this Eight of Cups feeling. And you know, cutting your hair is not a bad thing, and I would like stubbornly hold on to dead hair just because I want my hair to be long, which is not good. Like, if you have dead hair, it's not serving you. We need to cut off the dead ends. We need to trim things that we don't need from our life anymore. But sometimes we just hold on to things out of that security or out of fear. And it's not necessarily irrational fear, but I feel like this Eight of Cups is saying that you guys might be holding on to some dead hair. You might have some dead ends that need to be cut off that are not doing anything for you, but that you hold on to, even though it's not adding anything to your life. So I guess if I could give some advice, I would honestly ask myself, like, is this habit bringing any benefit to my life? Is it helping me in any way? Is this relationship benefiting my life in any way? Is this commitment, is this community benefiting my life in any way? And see what in your life might be this dead hair, so to speak, that needs to be cut off. And this dead hair might actually be the very thing that is clouding your vision, and that is making you afraid of taking this risk. Maybe once you cut off these dead ends, you'll be able to see clearly. You'll be able to see clearly, like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, I have a good example of this. Let's say someone is in a relationship that, this is just a hypothetical example so you can understand. Let's say someone is in a romantic relationship, like a long-term relationship. They've been with this person forever, and they're just really comfortable around them. but they don't feel that passion anymore. And maybe this partner has been kind of not doing anything with their life, not progressing at all, and is not adding anything to your life, is not bringing anything positive to your life. But this person is just like keeping that partner around because they're there and because they've always been there and they're comfortable with them. But this person deep down has always had a dream of going to what is it called? Pastry school? I don't know, like to become like pâtissier in France. They want to learn how to make pastries in France. And that was something they always wanted to do since they were a kid, but then they kind of put it off and like, you know, they're settled with this partner that they've been with for like 8 years or whatever it is. And finally, they're like, you know what? This relationship is not helping me grow. It's not adding anything beneficial to my life. We're not serving each other anymore. Like this doesn't make sense anymore. I can't stay in this relationship just because I'm like comfortable or that's what I know. And they make that commitment to end the relationship. And all of a sudden, because they ended that relationship, they're like, I can go to France now. Like I can do that thing that I always wanted to do. I can free myself. So like some dead hair, so to speak, that you're keeping in your life. And I'm sorry, it sounds very like, what's the word? Maybe rude to like compare a person to dead hair, but it doesn't have to be a person. It's just like something that you've become so comfortable with, even though it's not adding things to your life, that is stopping you from realizing you can do that thing that seems like a distant dream. You can do that thing that didn't seem like a plausible future for you. If you just free yourself, and then once you cut this off, you're like, wait, I can go anywhere from here. I can do anything from here. So this is the kind of feeling that I'm getting. You need to cut something off so that you realize you can do this. You realize that you can take this risk and that everything is going to go well for you. Woo, okay, so let's take a look at some oracle cards now. I have various oracle cards from different decks, and we're going to start with this very dazzling one. Actually, I lied. We're going to start with drinking more tea because she's scratchy today. And while I do that, please admire the rainbow. I love this deck so much. Okay, so first we have anomaly. Interesting. So you guys might feel like anomaly is like an abnormality. One of these things is not like the others. You guys might be a little bit of a black sheep, or you might have passions that are not very heard of, or not very conventional. This is probably for very few of you, but you might dream of some kind of career or dream of some kind of path that like you're not even sure if it exists, or it's like a weird fusion of careers, a weird crossing of industries that like you don't really know if it's been done before. But maybe throughout your life you've kind of felt like the odd one out. And I think that, oh, this is very sad actually. I really feel for you guys, like if you resonate with this following message, but you know, your childlike wonder and your innocence and the purity of your child mind was coming through as the overarching energy. So I feel like since a very young age, you're not really like the rest. And I think when you were little, you very much lived your 5D world here on earth. Like you lived out your dreams, you lived out your soul's desires, you lived out your soul's callings. Your soul was very much here on earth and very much living through you. And so you were likely very imaginative, very creative. Maybe you like to do a lot of make-believe stuff. And I use quotes because it's not like you're making things up. You're just really in touch with your soul and really in touch with the spiritual world and really in touch with your soul connections, and you're experiencing them here on earth. But to people who might be more disconnected, it probably looks like make-believe. It probably looks like you're just making stuff up. So for example, maybe as a child you could see people's auras, you could talk to spirits, you knew about soul connections that you had, and you can telepathically like speak to your soulmates, or you could tell what people were thinking, or you could tell what was going to happen before it happened. I feel like you were very gifted in this way, and you really embraced your creative and imaginative side, because I think you recognized that you could create anything you wanted, not just up in your head or not just up in the 5D, but here in the 3D world as well. You could create and be and do and experience anything you wanted. But I feel like as you got older, that's why the 5D and the 3D started to become more and more separate entities, almost like that 5D connection was knocked further and further away from you. From living on this dense earth, and from the influences of people who maybe didn't have time for that kind of thing, or who didn't believe in that kind of thing, and who told you like to grow up or to get real or to, you know, focus on other things instead. So you've been this like anomaly, so to speak, or this black sheep, so to speak. And I think you're coming back to this energy and coming back to these gifts that you had when you were a child, which is essentially your ability to create any experience you want down here on earth. We also have the Grand Cross. Yeah, this is like an aspect that causes a lot of tension. So I think, again, this is talking about the inner conflict that you guys feel, and your tendency to overanalyze and overthink to stall taking action. With the Grand Cross here, this could also be indicating that the next 3 to 6 months are going to be significant for you guys. Then we have birth, and it's so interesting that we have the eye here and all of these eyes. Like, you guys have been gifted since birth. You've been psychic since birth, and you've also been protected since birth. I feel like you've had a lot of spirits around you for your whole life, and they're still there with you. And I hope that you can feel them now. But you've been so protected, and you've had a lot of company, and you've been in really, really good company for your whole life. And you have a lot of connections to the spirit world. You have a lot of spirit guides. You have a lot of soulmates who are both incarnated and not incarnated. Like, you are in good hands. You are in good company. So I feel like these cards together are talking about like a very, very gifted child, aka you. And if you guys have children, or if you want to have children in the future, I feel like your children would be really, really gifted as well. And they would remind you a lot of you as a kid. But this birth card can also speak about, you know, a new beginning coming to your life. Oh my gosh, I just looked up and saw 3355, which, yeah, it's the repeating 3s and 5s. The 3D and the 5D are merging. So your 5D connections, your 5D dreams, your 5D world is coming down here. And then, oh my gosh, you see, this is what I normally think of with the swan, because I just feel like I have, well, probably not a lot, but like the few decks that I do have with swans, I feel like there's either like 2 swans, it looks like, you know, they're kissing each other, like they're coming together like that, or like a swan is swimming on the water and being reflected in the water. There's like a lot of that kind of imagery when it comes to swans. This is totally reiterating your inner world being a reflection of your outer world. There could also be some kind of counterpart energy going on with this reflect and with swans. Like, there could be a soul out there who is incarnated. I should clarify that. Who is incarnated, who is here on this earth, who mirrors you a lot. Like, you are eerily similar. You're like a copy paste of each other, at least energetically. your energetic copy paste is out there somewhere. Interesting. Well, no, there's still one more deck because I want to use the tea leaf cards. So let's get our last messages from the tea leaf oracle deck for group number 3. What else does group number 3 need to know? Or what else might group number 3 not see coming? Interesting that we have scissors, because we spoke about cutting off dead hair. We have disappointment in some affair. I honestly feel like deep down, if you're being very honest with yourself, you would know what needs to be cut away, but you might resist that knowing out of fear, out of wanting to keep things the way they are. But if you really need help in identifying what needs to be cut away, I feel like very soon there will be some disappointment in this area. So let's go back to our hypothetical example of the person who's in a long-term relationship that's just not doing anything for anyone anymore. And they need a sign, because probably deep down they know, but it's scary, so they kind of ignore that knowing. So in their case, this sign, it would be that, their partner disappoints them in some way. Their partner lets them down in some way. So pay attention for disappointing events in a certain area of your life that could be happening as a confirmation. Like, yeah, this is your sign. This is your sign that it's time to let go. This is your sign that it's time to stop ignoring that knowing that you have. We also have wreath, sorrow over a loss. So, I mean, if I'm being honest, and the cards are being honest, this would be sad. It would be sad to let go of this thing. Even if deep down you know that it's the right thing to do, you're still a human and you still have emotions, and it's still going to be sad. Like when I don't know, I'm using the example of a breakup a lot. And I hope that I'm not like, if you guys are happy in a relationship, please don't worry about this message. I'm just using, I think, breakups because it's like easy to understand. But if you're very happy in your relationship, please, I don't want you to think that I'm like telling you to break up with your partner or something like that. Okay, never mind. Let me use my hair cutting. Let me use my hair cutting as an example. I know that I need to cut my dead hair off. I know it. So I know that I'm doing the right thing, but I still feel sad. So it's like, just because you know, like, this is what we need to do, this is the right thing to do, and I know that this is going to make better days for me in the future, it's still okay to be sad, and it's still okay to mourn that loss. Okay, that one doesn't want to come out. Let's get one more for group number 3. Okay, we have Lily with spiritual love. Yeah, so I think that there's some spiritual counterpart, some copy paste of your soul that is out there that you guys are going to come into union with as a result of this transition. But I also think this is confirming that you guys are entering into a chapter where you get to do the things that your soul really loves and that your soul really wants to do. The name Lily could be significant as well. Like a person or even an animal who has the name Lily, or it doesn't have to be like the English word lily, but any flower name in any language, somebody, animal or human with that name might be significant. So it could even be like Rose or Rosa or something like that. Okay, or like Marigold. But yes, group number 3, those are all the messages I have for you today. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending you guys so much love, and I'm sending lots of love to your spiritual team as well. And I thank you very, very much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Soul Whispers Oracle deck, I almost said tarot, this is going to be your reading all about what you don't see coming. So we're gonna start off the reading by pulling a few cards from this deck, and in this part of the reading we're gonna see what areas of your life might be affected in these unexpected changes and sort of get a gist of what might be coming for you. And then when we get into the tarot afterwards, that's where we'll really get into details. So let's get right into it for group number 4. Okay, so for group number 4, what unexpected changes, unexpected blessings, unexpected events might be coming? I'm hearing divine redirection. So changes in your plans that you weren't expecting. Put your bare feet on damp earth, stand in the sun, feel the rain on your skin, ground yourself. And we have the number 26 on there. That could be an important age for some of you guys, although that's definitely going to be a small few of you. The number 26 makes me think about balance, and I will get a little bit into this in just a second. I want to pull the rest of the cards first. Release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, surrender. And you are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. Okay. This is so cool. So, this is another one of those decks where the messages are more about energies and more about emotion, I feel, and less about like very specific concrete things. So I was wondering how it was going to work in a reading like this, where we want to see like really specifically what is happening or what is changing in your life. But I really felt called to use this deck in this reading, and I'm really seeing the message come together, which is so cool. So yeah, 26 might be an important age, or 32 could be an important age as well. I don't think we have any 8-year-olds watching today, but if you are one of these ages, or if you will be soon, or you could have been this age recently and we're just seeing like that was a really important age for you. But that could be a confirmation for some of you guys. But like I mentioned, I'm really feeling drawn to the number 26, which is about balance. Interestingly, or at least that's how I feel it. Interestingly, it adds up to 8, and then we have an 8 here as well. So repeating 8s could be significant for you guys. There's definitely abundance beyond your expectations, and I want to say beyond your wildest dreams in your future. But basically there is some divine redirection coming, or some change to your plans to bring you back into balance. It's like the universe is coming in to bring to your attention things that are not working for you anymore. Some of you guys, for some of you, this is like a burnout that you don't see coming, or like something is coming to a halt in kind of an unceremonious way, because you need to stop, because you need a break, because you need to just be still and think about what it is that you're really doing. Some of you guys maybe have been working tirelessly towards a certain goal, towards a certain career, a certain like study path. What do you call that? Like a certain major, a certain study program. Like you've been really, really working hard towards it, and your brain is so full with like, let's get through this next day. Let's get through this next week. Let's just complete this assignment. Let's just reach this next goal. And I feel like you guys haven't taken time to just stop and ask yourself, like, am I still happy with this journey? Like, am I still doing what I want to do, or have I changed my mind? Because you are allowed to change your mind. And I think some of you guys, it's also like you haven't stopped to assess your reasons for pursuing the things that you are, the reasons for going down the path that you're going down. So in the example of a student who's just like, okay, let me just finish this paper, let me just get through this week, let me just get through exams. It's like, am I still liking this major? Is this still, can I still see myself getting a career in this field? Or like, do the reasons that I started this still apply? Like looking back to why I started on this major, do those reasons still apply to me right now? Or have I maybe changed my mind? Is this still really good for me? It's like, I feel like you guys are so in the grind that you're forgetting to be in this introspective energy sometime. You're forgetting to rest and recharge and like take stock of where you are and what you're doing. Almost like you've become a machine that is just completing tasks, and you're just in work mode and you're just in output mode. And the universe is saying it's really important for you guys to take a break, and it's really important for you guys to have a period of reflection, because the universe is trying to restore balance back into your life. It could also be that some of you guys are on the right path, but you're just doing way too much. Like you're trying to do too much too fast. This could be you guys always focus on the next thing, always focus on bigger results, more output, higher achievements, rather than taking time to pat yourself on the back and say like, wow, I worked really hard. I'm so proud of myself for this achievement. Let me celebrate it. Let me enjoy the fruits of my labor. Let me, bask in the glory of my accomplishments, and let me take a rest so that I can get inspired for the next thing. The universe is trying to bring peace and stillness and inspiration back into your days. So some of us, we've maybe kind of veered off the path of what is really good for us or what we really want to do. And for others, it's like you're on the right path, but it's like you're doing too much or you're going too fast. And so I feel like what you don't see coming is that the universe is going to throw you a little bit of a curveball to like sort of get you off of your daily rhythm and get you off of your daily routine. Because I feel like when you're in your current routine, you don't even see like where might we need to slow down, what might we need to adjust things. So it's almost like the universe has to knock you off of it one time so that when you get back into it, you get back into it in a different way. Another example of this could be like somebody started an exercise routine, they started like an exercise regimen to get fit, but somewhere along the line, they stopped enjoying the type of exercise they were doing. Maybe someone was doing like, HIIT, like the high intensity interval training. And somewhere along the line, they stopped enjoying it because it was just too intense or whatever. They stopped liking it, but they're just so in that exercise routine. And maybe they're so in this mindset of like, I need to be consistent. I need to be disciplined. I need to keep getting stronger. So maybe, the universe throws a really big task at work their way, or a really, really big test at school their way, and then they don't go to the gym for 2 weeks. And so when they get back, they're like, wait a minute, I don't really want to go back and do HIIT again. Maybe I'm going to go back and do something else. Maybe I'm going to do jogging. Maybe I'm going to do Pilates. Maybe I'm going to do swimming instead. And it took them like getting out of their routine to make that change, or for them to even conceive of being able to make that change. Or like someone who's running their own business and they're like really burning the candle at both ends, and so they end up getting sick or they end up burning out, and they take a few days off or even a few weeks off, so that when they get back into work, they're like, okay, I'm gonna space out my work a little bit more, or I'm gonna hire an assistant, or screw it, I don't even like this work anymore, I'm gonna do something else. But it's like the universe had to knock you off your course for a bit, temporarily, so that you could decide, and so that you would have time to think, like, am I still really happy doing what I'm doing? Or am I happy with my approach? Am I still feeling good? Do I still feel like I'm living my life, or am I just surviving? And so I feel like, this is some like unexpected interruption to your regular scheduled programming. And for many, I feel like it could be like some kind of burnout that's happening, or like, I don't know, like catching a cold or something that just kind of gets you off of your game for a while. Or like a big responsibility that's coming your way that's taking you away from your regular thing, or something going on in your personal life that just kind of takes you out for a while. And that could be challenging. It could be a challenging period to go through, but I think that it's really, really important. It's going to make you still, and it's going to give you time to reflect. When you're in your everyday life, when you're in your go, 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 it can be hard to objectively reflect on what you're doing, but the universe is going to take you out of it for a while so that you can look at it objectively, so that you can look at it from a bird's eye view and decide. Like, it's almost like, I feel like the pandemic was a good example of this. Like, a lot of stuff got put on hold. A lot of people started working remotely, and then like, when offices open back up again, I think a lot of people are like, do I even want to go back to the office? I kind of like working remotely. Getting out of our normal everyday, so that we stop seeing the normal everyday as a given, or like it has to be this way. We're like, wait, I actually don't have to do this. I can do something else if I want to, or I can go about this a different way if I want to. So yeah, the universe is like taking you out of your daily routine in some way. I saw 11:11 when I was talking, but I didn't want to like stop my thoughts, so I'll just let you guys know. A few seconds ago, I saw 11:11, and then I looked up again and I saw 11:33. So we have repeating ones, we have repeating threes, and we have repeating eights as well. 1, 3, and 8, those could be significant numbers for you guys. New beginnings, abundance, new inspiration, new creativity, new manifestation. I feel like you guys are entering an Empress chapter of your life, where once you reassess your life and redirect yourself, and remove unnecessary stresses from your life, I think that you're going to start manifesting things very, very effortlessly. And now I want to talk about this card. You are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. I feel like some of you guys really need to reassess your reasons for doing things. Like, some of you guys might be doing things for validation, or for people-pleasing reasons, or like to prove yourself, to make other people proud, or because you want people to view you in a certain way. And we're moving into an energy where we're going to start doing things for ourselves. And you could almost ask yourself, like, what would someone who is whole and complete do? If other people's opinions didn't matter, if validation didn't matter, if people liking me didn't matter, and I was just doing this for myself, what would I do? Because I feel like that's the key. You guys are like in some kind of hamster wheel, and it's fueled by other people's approval, or like other people valuing you highly or thinking positively about you, or something like that. And this is your opportunity to redirect your life and make decisions like independently of those things. I'm also getting hermit energy from you guys, like sorry, hermit energy from you guys, someone who is just marching to the beat of their own drum, who is not influenced, who really could not care less about what anyone would have to say about their path. This is the kind of energy that you guys are going into, and you're going to see, once you start doing things for yourself and prioritizing comfort and peace over like output and stats and status and position and results and these kinds of things. Once you start prioritizing your comfort and your peace and your pleasure, you're going to start manifesting things so much quicker and so much more effortlessly. And ironically, you're actually going to have even more abundance in your life, like even more material abundance in your life, which is so cool. You guys might want to take a solo trip or spend some time outside by yourself. I'm just looking at this ground yourself card and this person who's floating in a big body of water. And I'm noticing the sun and the moon. So I'm thinking like at least a whole day to yourself. Maybe you go on like a day trip to go hiking, or you just spend time at the park near your house, or you go out stargazing or something. But there's something about you taking the time to be out in nature by yourself and reflecting that I think could be very beneficial and very eye-opening for you. I just saw 1515 as well, so let's throw fives in there. What do we have now? 1, 3, 5, 8. Those could be significant numbers for you guys. So I'm going to drink some tea. Okay. As you guys can probably tell, something's going on with my throat. I feel a lot better today. But yeah, I'm like fighting some kind of frog in my throat. When I like kind of cleared my throat before, it was just because of that, but could also be referencing like a blocked throat chakra, because I don't think I did that in the other groups, like a, you know? So yeah, it could be that someone needs to speak up for themselves. Someone needs to say no to what they want to say no to, or say yes to what they want to say yes to. I just love shuffling this deck so much. It shuffles so well. Okay, group number 4. Let's get into the details of this. Group number 4. Yeah, we have the 4 of Swords, which is about rest, inaction, reflection, super, super straightforward reiteration of this. Okay, we have Ace of Cups. So getting back to what really fulfills you, getting back to what you really like to do. We have, oh my gosh, we have the Queen of Pentacles, abundance, fertility, prosperity, and rabbits, which denote speed. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so I definitely feel like a lot of what we're seeing here in the tarot part of this reading is just like reiterating what we spoke about in the oracle part, like in the first part of the reading. I'm gonna actually start with the bottom of the deck energy. I've been using this to sort of represent the overarching energy of the reading. And so with the King of Pentacles here, I do think that what we're seeing here likely has to do with your career or with your studies. So, you know, bringing to your attention if the career path you're currently on or the studies that you're currently doing is what is really right for you, or bringing to your attention if the approach that you're taking, so like how hard you're working, how much you're putting on your plate, if you're working by yourself or if you're working with other people, like if there's something about your approach that needs to change. And the King of Pentacles is an amazing card. It means that, which we kind of touched on a little bit in the first part of the reading, but you even have the King and the Queen. So like great abundance is coming to you guys. Like material, I think I even said material abundance beyond your wildest dreams. The King of Pentacles is not only abundant, but he feels really good about what he's doing in the world. Like he feels like he's good at it. He feels like he's helping other people. He feels like he's contributing. He feels really secure in what he's doing, and he feels really sure of himself in what he's doing. And this is the energy that you guys are embodying, and that, you know, this little detour, this divine redirection is going to help you embody. What I really, really like about this card is that, first of all, we have the infinity symbol above the King of Pentacles head, which is giving me magician vibes because he also has the infinity symbol above his head. And he's like a master manifester. He can create anything he wants into this reality. And we also spoke about you guys starting to manifest things very, very effortlessly. But I really like the juxtaposition of the infinity symbols with the comets in the background, because the comets make me think of something raining down really, really quickly. It's kind of giving me like Eight of Wands vibes, where a bunch of things are manifesting into your life all at once. And so it's like there is some big downpour of abundance coming into your life. So, but it's what's the word? Sustainable, or like it's going to be sustained for a long time. It's not like you're getting some big lump sum of money one time and then that's it. Or it's not like you're having one really good month where your income is really good and then, you know, you're going back down. You're not a one-hit wonder. You're like a consistent veteran. I don't know if that's the right word, but it comes quickly and then it stays, which is very cool and very impressive, I think, because what we see very often, you know, we say easy come, easy go, right? Like if something comes quickly, it's also going to fizzle out of your life quickly. But this is a blessing that is coming to you very fast and very effortlessly and very sort of all at once, but then it's staying, it's maintaining itself, it's sustaining itself. So once you make these changes in your lifestyle and in your routine, you're going to see the positive results really, really quickly, and they're going to carry on. So like in the example of somebody who is running their own business, you know, they've been doing it the way everybody else says you should, the way the courses say that you should run your business. And they take a step back and say, I don't like running my business this way. I'm going to do it my own way, even if it's not the conventional way, even though it's not what the experts say I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do it like this, in a way that feels authentic to me, in a way that's enjoyable to me. You know, like maybe this person is a content creator and there's all of this advice out there, like you should make content about XYZ, or you should make your thumbnail like this, or you should make your title like this, or you should do this in the video so that people like it, or so that you retain your audience. Like there's all these things like that, and they're like, this doesn't feel authentic to me. Like screw it, I'm just gonna put out content in the way that I like. And once they do that, you know, once they realize I'm whole and complete and I only need to act in a way that pleases me, the ironic thing is that that's actually gonna bring in more traffic for them or more business for them, because people like authenticity, people like originality, and people like your humanity, and people like what makes you you. You know, you can't just like complete all these things on a checklist and then it will be a success, because we're not machines. And I feel like when you start really embodying your authenticity and I want to say humanity for some reason, like what makes you human and what makes you uniquely you, that's when you're really, really going to start to shine. And that's when you're really, really going to start being successful. So like as soon as you make those changes, you see a difference reflected in the results, and that's going to remain the same consistently. Like you're going to stay like this, or you're maybe even going to go like this and keep growing. But yeah, one thing that you guys definitely don't see coming, and so this is not just like a bonus coming to you, this is like a change in your income. Like your income is going to skyrocket. For some of you guys, you might be like doubling your income in the next year. And it's going to stay like that. It's going to stay like that into the years to come. And I love this for you, because you don't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise for doing what you want to do, or you don't have to like sell your soul to be successful. Like it's your very soul that is going to make you successful. That is going to make you this King of Pentacles. and like you're ready for it. And this is the overarching energy. And so whatever's falling away from your life, or wherever redirection is happening, it's only to bring you to this King of Pentacles energy faster. We have the Queen of Pentacles energy here as well. I love that we have rabbits here, because rabbits also denote speed, and they also denote fertility, which is giving me Empress vibes, like producing a lot of results very quickly. And I really like that we have both the King and the Queen of Pentacles here, because it shows me that you guys have this balance of, you know, masculine and feminine energy within you. And I think you guys are realizing that like work and rest are equally important, and that rest and self-care is also productive. And I think if you guys like, and I'm like trying to be careful in this reading, because I don't want to scare you guys. Like if you keep working too hard, like you're gonna have a burnout, or like you could get sick or something like that. But it's true, and it's something I've gone through as well. I've gone through burnouts as well. I've gotten sick from working too much as well. When I was in high school, I was involved in like a million extracurricular things, and I feel like I got colds a lot because I was just like go all the time. And without fail, like at the end of a big presentation or a big assignment, I would get sick because my body was just like like finally I can, I don't know what it is, like finally I can release all of this stuff. I don't know what it is, but like I would get sick frequently. So I think you're realizing, you're finding your perfect balance of like working hard and also resting, working hard and also taking time for play, and also taking time for pleasure, and also understanding like as a creative or as a worker, it's not always just about output. It's not always just about actions, you know, like putting yourself out there and moving forward. That's like a kind of a more masculine thing. But if you're always output, you're gonna start making subpar work, or you're gonna start putting out subpar ideas. I think I've used myself as an example for this kind of idea before, but like if I was just filming readings all the time and it was all I did, and I was like, yeah, I'm in hustle mode, I'm rise and grind, you know, if I was like in that masculine energy all the time of just like output, then my readings would start to suck, because I'm not taking time to live life. I'm not taking time to be receptive, to have input into myself. I need to, well, first of all, I need to take a break and rest and sleep, but like I need to go out there and live my life and have experiences and learn things from people and fall in love and dance in the roses. And I need to do that kind of receptive stuff, and that kind of, I need to just be. I need to have input into myself as well. So I feel like you guys are finding this really good balance of input and output. And I was just watching an interview with Rosalia, who's like a Spanish singer, a musician, and she was saying like when she's making her album, she also has to spend a lot of time like listening to albums as well. Like you need that input too. You need to be receptive as well. It's not just like a one-way equation of like you're putting out stuff all the time. And after a big project, you also need a lot of time to rest and recharge and get inspired again. So I think you guys are finding this balance really, really well. And I love that the Ace of Cups is here, because it's like you're filling up your cup. You're taking care of yourself. This is all about self-care. This is all about making you happy. And I feel like the Ace of Cups is really, really reflective of this message. You are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. You're finding your fulfillment. You're finding what makes you truly happy. And then, yeah, Four of Swords, like we spoke about, is very, very straightforward. This is a period of rest. It looks like this person is meditating or doing some kind of breathing exercise. In some decks, we would see him just sleeping, in which case I might tell you guys like, yeah, just rest, just take a nap, just sleep for a really long time. But with this Four of Swords card, it does look like you guys might be encouraged to do some form of meditation. And I think it's really interesting too how like I read the cards backwards, because usually I would read them that way, but it's like we're going back, we're regressing in some way. So you guys might be called to like go back to the beginning, go back to when you started your journey. What was important to you then? Why did you start this journey? What was your reasoning? What was the spark? What was it that fueled you? What was it that made you excited? And are those elements still there? Or have they changed? Or have they disappeared completely? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about knowing. So if those elements are still there and they're the same, that's great. If they've changed, that's also great. We just need to know. If they're not there anymore at all, that's also fine. Like if it's not doing it for us anymore, that's fine too, but we have to be honest with ourselves about it. Yeah, so I think this is what I see from the tarot. So let's go into the oracle cards and see what we have from various decks, additional messages, additional guidance. This is probably a good time to sip tea again. Okay, and now let's see what we have. Ooh, interesting. We have density. You're being weighed down. You're being slowed down. Yeah, I feel like it's some kind of like burnout, or like we're getting really tired. We're getting slowed down. We're getting slowed down. We're being forced to slow down. We're being forced to be still. I'm also thinking with this card, like quality over quantity, you know, like when something is dense, my image is like it's very small, but there's a lot packed into it. It's like very, very heavy. And I'm thinking of like quality over quantity. Like just because something is bigger, it doesn't mean that it's more. Like, you know, like I don't know if this is true, but like a square inch of steel might be heavier than like a whole, yeah, probably like a whole pillowcase of foam feathers. You guys get the picture. Like smaller doesn't mean less and bigger doesn't mean more. Quality over quantity. Sorry, I made that unnecessarily complicated. So I think you guys are gonna start favoring working less, but doing like better quality work over like just doing more and more and more. Like work smarter, not harder. And this can be applied to so many things. This could be like exercising fewer days out of the week, but doing more like really specifically targeted exercises, and then you actually see better results because when you exercise every day, you don't give your muscles time to recover. So you might find that spacing them out actually gives you better results because you have recovery time and you're being more smart when you're exercising. Or like, I don't know, in the example of a YouTuber, maybe they feel pressured to put out videos every day because some online course said, if you want your channel to blow up, you have to upload every single day. And so they felt like they had to do that, but then they weren't inspired about what they were doing. They were putting stuff out just to put it out. And then maybe they're like, you know what? No. You want to know what? No. I am going to leave. They start putting out videos maybe once a week instead, but it's stuff that they really care about and it's stuff that they've put effort into and they feel less pressure, and then that comes through in their videos and people watching can tell that they really enjoy it. Or if you're a student, maybe you're finding a study method that's like way more efficient for you, and so you don't have to study for like 6 hours a day or whatever it is. You can study for like an hour a day or 30 minutes a day. Quality over quantity. You guys get it. And we have Pluto, which means big shifts, big transformations coming to you. Foundational changes though. Changes from the root. And actually, I wanted to mention that with the Four of Swords, that the swords are actually like pillars. the way they're placed in the card. Like, so we're changing our foundation. Scorpio season might be significant for you guys. Or if you know, wait, no. I was gonna say if you know your Pluto sign, then like that could be significant. For example, my Pluto is in Sagittarius. So for me, this could be like Sagittarius season is significant. But Pluto is actually gonna change signs. I think it's like, it's gonna change signs in the beginning of 2023. And then it's gonna do it again in 2024. So I know that's kind of a long window, but like the years 2023 and 2024 could be like really important years for you guys, especially if you're gonna be 26 or 32 during those years. Yeah, that could be a really important time. Ooh, we also have Spirit, and I love that the finger looks like it's pointing out the star. When you listen to your spirit and when you follow the callings of your spirit, I feel like you can identify the right answers and you can identify what you're meant to do so quickly. So like, as soon as you have a moment of quiet and a moment of peace, your spirit's like, ding, hello, over here, this is what you need to do. And you guys might be surprised of like how quickly the answers come to you. It's funny, I'm just thinking of like, a while ago, my partner was like, I need a few days to think about, he needed a few days to think about something. And I was like, okay. And then literally the next day, he was like, oh, I thought it was going to take longer, but I actually thought about everything I needed to think about and now I know what I want to do. And it's because he had like a day of just quiet, a day of just being able to think. And he was actually able to like think things through a lot quicker. So, you know, I think I was giving these examples of like, yeah, you could be out of your rhythm for like weeks, but maybe it's not that long. Maybe for some of you, it's like a week. Maybe it's like 3 days. I think your spirit is always there for you and your spirit is always waiting for you and ready to give you the answers. And it's like the second you step back, your spirit's like, boom, light bulb moment. I know what I meant to do because it's already in me. It's like innately within me. Whatever changes you're making here, it's bringing you back to follow the promptings of your soul and follow what your soul really wants to do. And your soul is going to be able to point it out so quickly. And your final card is, yeah. That just makes sense. That just makes a lot of sense. Be gentle with yourself. So that's our Four of Swords energy. Taking a rest, having a period of inaction. That's our release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, surrender energy. If you guys do feel like doing this and you can do this and you want to, I am feeling a little bit of encouragement to do some kind of, it's either a self-care routine or it could be just a one-time thing, like going to get a massage one time. Or, you know, yesterday I took a bath, which I never do, but it was just a little like, self-care. Or like getting your nails done nicely. Just something to, I don't know how you say this, but like to have a change of scenery or to have a change of pace, to do something that you don't usually do. Because I think one of the big like light bulb moments and one of the big epiphanies that's coming to you guys through this process is like, oh, I can change my mind whenever I want, or I can change my path whenever I want. I can do things differently. And so the universe is just kind of throwing things your way to get you out of your daily routine, to get you out of your autopilot so that you could fathom a life that is different and that is more in alignment with your spirit. So let's go ahead now and take our final cards. We're going to take some tea leaf fortune cards and see what final messages or advice or other unexpected things. Ooh, we have the Sun with happiness and well-being. We have wealth. Yep. We definitely talked about that. And we also have Dark Man. dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have angel, spiritual guidance, and protection from harm. Ooh, it could even be that like one of your guardian angels or one of your spirit guides appears to you as a masculine energy. They could appear to you as having dark skin or dark hair. Ooh, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, this could obviously, of course, be a human, but I thought that was kind of cool. So those are all the messages I have for you guys, group number 4. So thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I'm just noticing that both of these cards have hands on them. So maybe some of you guys are like, you feel called to do something with your hands, like writing, drawing, painting, sewing, playing an instrument, I don't know, making stuff, reading cards. It's all about the hands. But yeah, those are all the messages now, I think, for real this time, probably. So yeah, thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4, I'm sending you guys so much love. And I'm sending much love to your spiritual team as well and to your guardian angel. And I thank you very, very much for being here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.